Okay, so we're here at the gingerbread house drop-off, and it looks really amazing from what I can tell.
You sure got that right, Lindsay. Today we're here with Jonathan and Ellie, contestants of the gingerbread house judging in Berlin, and we'll be interviewing them to get a truer understanding on the event.
So, what can you tell us about these gingerbread houses? Are you impressed by all the effort put into them, and how many people approximately contributed, do you think?
It looks like there's probably close to about, I would say 20, 25 entries so far, which is pretty good. We've been doing this for, how many years have we been doing this? About 4 or 5 years.
Oh, so cool.
So this is a pretty good turnout too.
Nice little family tradition to hold.
I mean, I would like to enter it too, but...
These gingerbread houses really seem to kick off the holiday season with good cheer, so do you think that they're a good way to start the holiday season?
Yeah, what do you think, Sue?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun every year decorating the houses, and it's one of the things that we look forward to Christmas in Berlin.
Yeah, so we represent the Berlin Public Library, and I was wondering, do you think it would be like a good idea for the library to host kind of a similar event in the future? Or?
Oh yeah, that would be cool. That would be really, really cool to have something like there. We've done a few things at the library. So we've entered the robot competition. What else have we done? Do you know what other things we've done? Yeah, they sometimes we've done. I think they did a Lego competition once, and we built stuff and entered that.
Oh, so cool. Yeah. Well, thank you for your time. Nice
Thanks. Enjoy the holidays.
Yeah, happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Okay, so like, what can you tell us about this event in general? Like, what's going on here at the town hall? And...
Well, this is a display of Christmas trees in Berlin, starting with the pre-industrial tree, which is displaying natural ornaments made from there. We have hickory nuts and pumpkin seeds with crab apples and florets, and we have wormwood and winterberry sprays, and then popcorn and cranberry strings. So that tree represents anything from prehistoric all the way through to 1830 when people began to manufacture things in a factory setting. So then the next tree is the Victorian one, which basically represents the period of Victoria's life, 1830 to 1910. And something very interesting to note about Queen Victoria. She was a young woman when she was coronated. She was 16 years old when she became queen, and she met her husband after she was queen, or she may have known him briefly, but she was really a sheltered child. So when she met her husband and got married, he was the love of her life, and then he passed away when she was in her middle age, and she was still queen. So Victoria donned black. Now she was the head of parliament, so she went to parliament in black, and because all of the members of parliament were her subjects, they all had to wear black too. And that's where the dark suit comes from, because Queen Victoria lived then for another, 30 years, 30, 40 years in her black in parliament, and then black suits became formal dress. That's why before Queen Victoria, men's waistcoats were embroidered, and the jackets were red, and the pants were green, and they were just like women. They dressed like women. They loved color. And then after Victoria, we have this. Basically, everyone's still mourning Victoria.
That is so interesting.
I think it's time for the men to bring some color into their wardrobes. Because they can, because we don't really have to mourn her anymore. She's long gone.
It's a lovely opinion.
So this tree behind us we call this the Art Deco tree, and this is 1910 to 1940. And this has got a little bit more of the industrial. Some of the pieces look more kind of Robbie the Robot-esque.
Right, like a little bit more modern.
More funky. There's more cultural influences in these, as opposed to this group is really very very quite an Anglo tree. You know, there's paper angels and Santas and, you know, very, very English style ornamentation, where this is a little bit more multicultural. And then this one is, we call this the modern tree. This is 1950 to 1970. And really people were very interested in being very modern and not so traditional. They were interested in being exactly being very adventurous and doing things in a new way.
Right, the ornaments have changed. A lot of trees.
This silver foil tree. Whenever people had them, they would put one color ornament on it. Everybody did that. My grandmother had one, and her ornaments were pink. And then another year, they were all gold. And your mom, what color? Do you remember?
Pink.
Pink. Yeah. And I had a childhood friend, and their family, all the ornaments were green. They all had green, just green. Yeah, they were cool. So the one over there is our New Age tree, and that's 1970 to 2000. And that's somewhat of a return to tradition and Victoriana, but in a very flamboyant way. So that's, you know, it's draped in veils, and it's got pearls and stars and icicles and pretty much.
From a more subtle appearance to a slightly more industrial appearance to something really out of the blue and funky and fun. And then nowadays they're sort of trying to embrace traditional trees more enthusiastically.
Well, what's interesting is when you go from 2000 to the present, this one is in that same era. This is around circa 1980, 1990. This is a welded tree. This is metal with a wire and beaded garland, and the little animals are bottle brush.
That's so cute.
They're really, you know, they're all prickly.
What a fun little craft to do
They're
at home.
they're really
Making them
neat.
at home
Yeah.
That is so cute.
And then across the room, there's a tree made from a tomato frame that you'd raise your tomatoes on upside down, and then it's wrapped with grapevine.
Wow, that is so cool.
And of course, way over in the corner is a tree that's a little tiny tree that's made from boxwood. That's our current one. And then also this one, which is the fiber optic. So we have two ladies standing on the fiber optic tree and then the boxwood tree. Those are, you know, right now. People like to have the fresh materials. They will go and seek out something that they can either put water in and it's fresh material, or they can put it in the ground at the end of the season. You probably know somebody that does that.
Yeah.
But the other trend is that the trees are getting smaller. People's lives are more complicated. They don't have time for decorating a 6-foot tree and having to take all those ornaments out and put them all away. So a lot of people are going for simpler solutions. Little tree on the tabletop. And
Do you think that's taking away some of the holiday spirit to not get a real tree and not go through the process of decorating it together?
I think that people find ways to express their own interpretation of the culture in each generation. And that's kind of what we're representing here. But I don't think you can point to any particular one and go, that's better. Because there's often a tendency to put down our own efforts and say, oh, well, you know, we had something, but look what they had before. It's all good.
It's kind of always evolving.
It's all good. And in every era, you know, we're influenced by what's happening around us.
Right.
So you can't look at our trees today and say, well, you know, they're not as, it was better before, because people had different influences. You know, these people were riding around in horse and buggy. And some guys were building the first cars in their garages, and they were powered with steam, and it was, you know, the beginning of steampunk. It is embodied in that era. This tree over here was when people first started to like fly to Europe. You know, in a plane, they could do that. It was the first time. Before that, if you wanted to go to Europe, you had to go on a boat.
Right. So each tree kind of represents the
kind of in a way,
The evolution of technology.
kind of in a way, absolutely. And there's the space age. That one shot to the moon.
Right. Exactly.
And you can see it. I mean, it looks like Cape Canaveral, right?
Extraterrestrial.
It's an atomic tree.
Exactly. And that's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So neat.
Well, it's reassuring to know that Christmas culture hasn't been lost and just alternated
Yeah.
with trees.
Yeah. Don't buy the hype.
We won't.
No, we won't.
Don't buy the hype. See, there's always plenty of people that are they're interested in pigeonholing. But the broader you keep your focus, the more chance that you're going to learn about something that you weren't aware of.
Yeah. Right. And if we don't try to embrace new culture in our trees, then we're not going to continue this evolution of decorating and.
Exactly. You know, something that was really interesting for me working on this whole process, when I heard that we were going to do this, we didn't have the pre-industrial tree. We just knew we wanted to do one. And so I started building ornaments. And it was so exciting. It was so much fun because I was raking leaves and the hickory nuts were just falling all over the ground in my yard. And I was picking them up so that they didn't fall on them because the hickory nuts are almost round. You know, you turn your ankle all the time. So I picked them all up and I threw them in a bucket. And then I realized that they had a little stem on them and I could tie a string. And I went, oh, I'm doing this Christmas tree. I could make an ornament, and that was the beginning of it. So yeah, it was really kind of cool.
So this is also neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for
you're
telling us all
welcome.
about
Yeah,
it.
thank you for your time and showing us
thank
how
you for your time.
trees have changed over the years and how they should be embraced to continue to change. So we're here today with Cole Lombardi, Trevor Sasso, Mal Regan, and Kirk Smalley, all musicians of Berlin Town Hall. So, what's your business here, guys?
We're here to play some Christmas songs, jazz band style, and spread the joy to the people.
Spread the love of Christmas. Bring the whole community together so we can spread our music. Have a good time.
And what songs are you guys playing for the public today?
Some of the basics, you know, Silent Night, Jingle Bells, funky old Saint Nick.
Along with some jazz songs as well. Yep.
Like Blue Boston.
Sidewind Hobo.
Big songs.
And everybody's well rehearsed. Are you nervous?
We're not that nervous, you know. We're just gonna have some fun playing some music.
It's just gonna be casual, good old time, you know, jamming out. We're just here to bring joy to the people.
And do you really feel like this event is going to make an impact on giving a good kickoff to the Christmas spirit?
Yeah, of course, absolutely. Oh yeah.
What's your reason? How do you feel that this event will impact people on feeling all cheery and Christmassy?
Well, there's nothing more fun than getting together, playing some music, listening to music, having a good time, and just enjoying everyone's company.
What's Christmas without Christmas music?
Indeed. Yeah.
I think Trevor said it right there.
Great question. All right, well, thank you guys for your time.
Thank you.
Enjoy it. We're here to bring joy to the people.
And the team advisory thanks you for your time.
No,
Thank you.
it's a pleasure. Thank you.
Good luck, guys.
Thank you.
The renovations of 19 Carter are making amazing progress, and it's hard to imagine what the building looked like before they started on it.
That's very true. I think we can all agree on that, Gabby. Today we're here with Evie Dewick, and she's going to help shine a little light on our understanding about 19 Carter. So could you tell us a little bit about what 19 Carter is, events that will be hosted here, what's the basics, why is this building here?
Okay. This building was built in 1887 and was a church until 1940. It was disbanded as a church at that time and was then turned into a storage building. And then it slowly sort of went into disrepair, and many people wanted to buy it and restore it, but nobody did. So finally, in 2011, we formed a nonprofit to buy it and restore it and make it open to the public. So instead of restoring it into a home, which a lot of people wanted to do, we decided to make it into a community center. So people can play foosball like they are behind us. People can have coffee here during the day. Toddlers can come by in the morning with their parents. And teens can come after school. I'm sure you'll enjoy.
It's a nice little place just to sort of hang out. You know, I feel like this would be a nice place just for people of the Berlin community to just meet each other and communicate and help build communication between generations.
Right, yep, that's right.
We're here with Pat Smith, the co-chair of the Friends of the Berlin Public Library, and she's here to tell us a little bit about how the Berlin Public Library has contributed to Christmas time in Berlin.
Hi. Yes, it's a large group that everyone has been spending months preparing for this Christmas time in Berlin. And one of the things the Friends did was we did the holiday baskets, which were greens from our own backyards or from Berlin farms, and we put them together and we sell them for the children's programs. And the other thing we do for Christmas in Berlin is we have a raffle for a basket of goodies. There's some from double chocolate cocoa and vanilla, homemade vanilla. And so we usually have a drawing, and we have cheese and crackers, and we just invite people to come in if they have been to the library, haven't been to the library, to just come in and see what it's like. And so it just gives another festive idea. It gives us a deadline to have everything decorated, and it's been fun.
So it's just like another nice open program that people can stop by to the library and
chit-chat, introduce each other.
Right, come together as a community and sort of bond a little bit, you know?
That's right.
Yeah. Another nice way to stay in touch.
Yes.
Nice.
And find some good books.
Right.
Because it's going to be raining.
Right. And the baskets that you're selling are to sponsor
the children's programs.
Children's programs.
Yes.
So it's another generous
And
component.
they
of the
look
holiday
nice and they're all done. Something you put on a table, or some people have gotten them because they're bringing to a friend.
Right. A little conversation piece, and then you can discuss where you got it.
That's
Christmas time in Berlin Library.
Exactly.
Very nice. Yeah.
So we had a craft down here for the little ones, and they came and had a great time. You know, some of them got to craft, some of them crawled around, some of them just read
so
books.
It's not like strict or it's just nice, fun, open, lax sort of
very
event.
Creative. Yes.
Yeah, so they can kind of like be expressive and just sort of, you know, be free with their own independent art.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. So we just enjoy being just part of the community, and now we'll go off and see what else is going on out there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
The teen advisory.
And thank you for your teen advisory work. We're very pleased to have a teen advisory council now. This is great.
We're pleased to volunteer and help out and
good. Yeah, we'll be doing more things in the future.
Definitely.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you very much.